When it comes to graphic designing, Canva makes it much easier for people like us who are not graphic designers, right? Canva is so easy to learn compared to Photoshop or Adobe. It's easy for you to just quickly learn it and be able to create really beautiful graphics without becoming a graphic designer. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 simple hacks that you might have not known that will help you with your graphic designs in Canva and make your life much easier or make your graphics much beautiful, right? So that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rudo Dube, and here I share tips and tricks on how to build, market, and scale your online business. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification button so that you don't miss any other videos like this where I share tips and tricks on how to build, market, and scale your online business. So let's get into Canva and I'll show you the hacks. So the first hack or trick I'm going to be covering is using the Canva cards using your keyboard so that it makes your life much easier and faster when you're creating your graphics. So if you're able to use those shortcuts using the keyboard, it will make your life really, really easy. So if you go to Canva under learning, you'll find this infographic, which helps you to know which kind of keyboard keywords that you can use to make your life much easier when it comes to designing. So let's have a look at it when it looks a little bit bigger. So as you can see here, so using your keyboard, you can use the arrows for you to be able to move the elements. So these are the keyboard keys that you can use to move elements. And these are the ones on the yellow one. Those are the keyboard keys that you can use to move text or do whatever you want to do, right? Like aligning the text on the graphics that you're working on. So you can use the shortcuts using your keyboard to do that. And these are the other shortcuts that you can use that can be really useful for you, like when you're trying to search something or whether you want to select all the elements, right? You can just use Command plus A key and be able to select all the elements, right? And then you can do zoom in and zoom out. So these are all the keyboard shortcuts that you can use and make your life much easier when you're doing your graphics. So I hope you can check this out and start utilizing your keyboard to make your life much easier when you're creating your graphics on Canva. So try them out. Hopefully that helps for you. The next hack I'm going to be sharing with you is shadow text. So here's another fast way to get your text onto your graphic, right? So using those keyboard shortcuts, you can just press T and there you go. Got your text box which just appears onto your thing. So it's really fast when you use your keyboard. That way you don't have to keep on going onto this side here to click on text here and be able to click on that, right? So you can just click T on your keyboard and you have your text box right away there. So let's say we want to create the shadow text. So now you can just go to where it says effects, right? And then it shows you all the different effects that you can choose. So if you want, you can have the shadow at the background. So you can choose that and then it will show the shadow, but because the colors are the same, it won't show that, but you can change the color here. Let's say if you wanted to make it go for yellow, right? You can choose yellow and then it shows you the color in the background, right? So I'm gonna change the color of the text to yellow. So then we can try all these different effects, right? So if you wanted, you can splice the text. You can have an echo at the back, right? So you can see there's a little shadow which is at the back, and you can change the effect of it by just moving this around, right? And you can also do like this kind of effect, right? You have a neon at the background. So there is so much that you can do in playing around with your text. And I love this. They have this curved one. So you can play around with that. You can even change how it curves and move it around like this so that, yeah, it looks much nicer, right? Like that. So you can play around with all these effects and see which one would you like for your own text, right? So it makes it much easier now with all these effects that you can play around. These are all the shadow effects that you can play around with and be able to come up with really nice graphics, right? Especially if you're coming up with thumbnails or anything like that, right? You have all these effects which will help your words to stand out even more. So that's another hack I wanted to share with you, that you can play around with your text and change the shadow effects on those texts. So another trick that might be helpful for you is if you're wanting to come up with images that you can use on your graphics and you don't want the background, You could try to come up here and type woman and then do the plus sign and do cutout. And then it shows you all the options of the images which are available of all the people with the background which is off, right? So you can then just scroll down and look at the ones you want to use and then select those images, right? So for example, if I wanted to choose this one, I can just click on it. So this is the image that we selected, and then there we go. We just have it, so you don't have to worry about having to go and remove the background, right? So they already have those options that you can just select all these images and use them in your designs. So that's another trick I wanted to share with you, that you can actually do that. So anything that you're looking for, you can just do that and see what do they have, right? So let's say you want an animal. So you see they have options of animals with the background which is already removed that you can choose, right, and use in your graphics. So for example, if you wanted to add a dog with no background, you have that as well. So I hope this trick helps for you. The next trick I wanted to share with you is the shadow effect. So you select on the image. So we're going to use the same image here that we had already selected. And then if you go to effects, then we just have to scroll down, and here it says shadow. We click on that, and I'll just connect it to my Canva because I hadn't done that. So we do that. So now if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you have it. So if you select all the shadows, you see all the options of the shadows that you can try, right? So as you can see, they have the angle one, you have the backdrop one, you have the page lift, you have the curved one, right? So you can't really see there because of the background of mine, which is already dark. So what you can actually do is you can double click on that and change the color. So let's say if I was to go for a yellow one, you can see, now you can see the effect, right? So you can change around the colors of that. So it makes it much easier than before this whole new effect was added. We used to have to do all this playing around and having two images. You end up blending out one, changing the colors so that you can put it in the background to give that shadow effect, right? So now you don't have to do all that much work. You just have to come here and use the shadow effects to do that same effect we wanted before, right, of having the shadow in the background. So you can play around with all this to see if you wanted to intensify it, you can do that. You can change it around, right? So this is really good. If you wanted to make it bigger or smaller, right, you can change it around. So this is a game changer now. You don't have to spend so much time trying to do all those other long ways, right, of having to create the shadow in the back. Now with Canva, you can simply do it in this way. So play around with all this and see which one really works for you, right? And try it out, guys. So this is a really powerful trick that you can use. So they can, and then you just press on apply after that. So I hope these 4 tricks and hacks that I shared with you will help you to upgrade your game when it comes to your graphic designs with Canva, right? And save you so much time, especially if you're using those keyboard shortcuts that I shared with you. So hopefully this ups your game. I hope you learned something new and you'll be able to use it in your own designs with Canva. I hope you found this video useful and you like it. Make sure you share with others that might find this video useful as well. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification button so that you don't miss any other videos like this where I share tips and tricks on how to build, market, and grow your online business. So for now, stay strong, stay positive, and continue building the business that you love. And I'll see you next time, guys. Take care. Bye.